Agnes loved her granddaughter Clara more than anything. She was so devoted that she paid for Clara's entire wedding. But just when Agnes thought she'd be there to see Clara walk down the aisle, Clara did something cruel. She took Agnes off the guest list at the last minute. This left Agnes heartbroken, but life had its own plans for Clara. Agnes sat alone in her living room, wiping away tears. She regretted not going to the wedding. She had really wanted to see Clara get married, but now she felt like she wasn't welcome, like she didn't belong. Agnes had been 75 when her beloved husband, Edward, passed away. Losing him was tough, and it affected her health. She eventually moved in with her son Timothy and his family in New York. At first, they welcomed her with open arms. But as her health worsened and she was diagnosed with dementia, things started to change. Agnes often overheard Timothy and his wife, Linda, arguing about whether they should put her in a nursing home because of the high cost of taking care of her. But no matter how hard things got, Agnes stayed because she loved Clara deeply. After Edward passed, Agnes had one wish: to see Clara get married before her time came. She had been saving money for Clara's wedding for years. When the big day finally approached, she offered every penny she had saved. Timothy was hesitant to accept the money, but Agnes insisted. She wanted to make sure Clara had the perfect day. But instead of being thankful, Clara was horrified at the idea of her grandmother attending the wedding. She worried that Agnes's illness would ruin everything. So, Clara made a heartless decision. She took Agnes off the guest list completely. This crushed Agnes. She became even more ill, struggling with the pain of feeling unwanted by the granddaughter she had always cherished. Eventually, Agnes told Timothy that she wouldn't go to the wedding and suggested it might be time for her to move into a nursing home. She felt like a burden to the family and thought it would be better for everyone. Timothy didn't want her to go, but Agnes pleaded with him, saying she felt trapped in the house that on the morning she was supposed to move to the nursing home, Agnes was flooded with memories of Clara as a child. She remembered the summers they spent together, the laughter and the love they once shared, now replaced by coldness and indifference. Even though she was hurt, Agnes couldn't resist the urge to see Clara on her wedding day. She put on a beautiful pastel outfit and convinced a kind nurse to drive her to the wedding venue. But when she got there, she overheard a heated argument between Clara and her fiancé, Josh. Clara's refusal to invite her grandmother, after everything Agnes had done for her, was the final straw for Josh. He decided to call off the wedding. "I can't marry someone who disrespects her own family, especially the person who's done so much for her," he said firmly. Agnes was stunned. She stepped into the room, pleading with Josh to reconsider. "Please don't end things because of me," she said softly, hoping to fix things. But Josh was firm in his decision. "This isn't just about today, Agnes," he replied. "It's about the kind of person Clara has become." Clara was devastated. In her anger, she turned on Agnes, blaming her for everything that had gone wrong. "This is all your fault," Clara shouted, pushing Agnes away. Even though she was heartbroken, Agnes decided to make the best of a bad situation. She called the nursing home and invited the residents to the wedding venue. Together, they turned what could have been a disaster into a joyful celebration. As Agnes watched her elderly friends laughing and dancing, she felt a deep sense of peace. She had done everything she could for Clara, but now it was time to focus on her own happiness. With a glass of wine in hand, Agnes reflected on how short life is and how important it is to live it fully, without regrets.